going to get to Dak Prescott on the Cowboys in a second, but first, Philly with another trick play to Nick Foles. Wasn't this the Patriots trick play?
Oh, this was the failed Patriots trick play. Man, Philly, I feel like this was a little sticky to the Pats. Now, they needed the shot in the arm. They were better after this. But I also think this was a little needle to the Patriots.
So much shade by Doug Peterson and the Philadelphia Eagles. This was absolutely something that sent a message to the Pats. No doubt.
Same game, handoff to Julio. Watch the stiff arm. Did you see it?
No, I don't. I don't have him. I thought I had him. Radio in for backup, Rodney McLeod. I hate to say that because that's a fellow Wahoo, Virginia guy. But yeah,
that's why he can't tackle.
Really? Taking shots. Come on.
Julio Jones is a creative player, man. If you have the new Madden and you want to create a perfect wide receiver, pick his specs.
Finally, Texas high school football. Keith Miller making a nice one-handed touchdown catch.
Man, I used to live in Texas, and they had some $30 million high school football stadiums, but I ain't seen no domes for high school football. Where are they playing, Kenny?
They got to be at the Star, the Dallas Cowboys' new practice facility. But look at the young fella post him up right there at the end zone, then Odell Beckham with the one-hand catch.
Nick, you want to play drawing a blank?
I'd love to.
Tom Brady will look to defend his MVP honors this season, and he'll be challenged by the odds-on favorite Aaron Rodgers. Chris Canty, the 2018 NFL MVP, will be blank.
It will be Tom Brady, and I'm going to say that until he doesn't win the MVP. Listen, we know that Tom Brady is going to figure out a way to make it work. We know that the wide receivers aren't what they've been in the past. This group is a little bit of a question mark, but we don't have any question marks when it comes to Tom Brady's ability, and we trust Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels to put together a game plan to exploit the weaknesses of any defense. A top 5 scoring offense every year this decade. I see this season being no different. Tom Brady MVP.
All right.
Around week 5 or 6 this year, Drew Brees is going to set the all-time passing yards mark. By the end of this year, he will be second all-time in passing touchdowns, and by the end of this year, he will have his second league MVP. I think the Saints are a 13-win team. That should be enough for the 1 seed in the NFC, and I think Drew Brees will be the engine behind it to go along with their great running game. Drew Brees, your 2018 NFL MVP.
And somebody's fantasy pick here at this table, not named Chris or Nick. Moving on to the young guns, Saquon Barkley is considered the heavy favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he will have to fend off Jets Week 1 starting quarterback in Sam Darnold. So, Nick, the Offensive Rookie of the Year will be blank.
The Week 1 heavy favorite, Saquon Barkley. I mean, I think that quarterbacks have an edge here if their teams do well, even if their stats aren't great. But Saquon's going to have, I would imagine, 1,400 yards from scrimmage this year, and the Giants will at least be a relevant team. Saquon's the easy pick here.
Out of all the positions coming from college football to pro football, I think running backs have the easiest transition, and we've seen a rookie running back lead the league in rushing the last 2 years. Kareem Hunt, 2017, 2016, it was Ezekiel Elliott. The Giants took Saquon Barkley with the 2nd overall pick. You don't do that unless you plan on using them. So from sheer volume of touches, Saquon Barkley wins rookie.
Real quick, oddly enough, Zeke and Kareem as rookies did lead the league in rushing, yet neither one of them won Rookie of the Year.
There you go.
Dak won it, and Alvin Kamara won it.
All right, last year, the Jaguars were the surprise of the season, jumping from the basement to the AFC Championship game. They set the standard, going from worst to first. Chris Canty, the surprise team to make the playoffs this season, will be blank.
I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know they made the postseason last year, but you know they're breaking in a new quarterback in Pat Mahomes. We really don't know what he's going to be. We know he's got a talented arm, but we don't know what he's going to be as a quarterback in this league. And they had a really bad defense last year. They were 28th in total defense. But I'm going to go out there and say the Kansas City Chiefs find a way to get into the postseason this year.
And that would be a surprise as far as Vegas is concerned. Vegas doesn't have them with the wins to make it to the postseason. I'm going to go with a super surprise because they were winless last year, the Cleveland Browns. Now, hear me out for a moment. If the Browns just had typical worst quarterback in the league play instead of historic worst quarterback in the league in a decade play, they'd have won 3 or 4 games last year. We see teams all the time go from 3 or 4 wins to the playoffs. The Jags did it last year, for example. I love a full season from Myles Garrett. I like the addition of Jarvis Landry. I love the addition of Todd Haley. And the upgrade they made from DeShone Kizer, who couldn't help but turn the ball over, to Tyrod Taylor, who never turns the ball over, is one of the biggest upgrades any team in football made at any position. I think the Browns win 9 games, and I think 9 games is enough for the 6th seed in the AFC this year.
You buying into the Hard Knocks hype.
I didn't even watch Hard Knocks.
You buying into it. Listen, I think they're going to be better Playoffs?
9 wins.
Playoffs?
9 wins.
All right, we'll see.
Last year, the Cowboys were on the opposite side of the spectrum. Dallas finished with 9 wins, but failed to make the playoffs in disappointing fashion. So, Nick, the surprise team to miss the playoffs this season will be blank.
Everybody's trendy Super Bowl pick, Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars last year had perfect health on defense. They missed 4 total games from their top 12 defenders. They still only won 10 games. The Jags got worse at the wide receiver position and then lost their number 1 wide receiver, Marquise Lee. Leonard Fournette, he had 1,000 yards, lumbering 1,000 yards at less than 4 yards per carry. I don't think they'll be as healthy defensively. I don't think Bortles will be as good. I think 10-6 Jacksonville easily turns into 7-9 or 8-8 Jacksonville, particularly with the more difficult schedule. Jags out of the playoffs.
I feel like that was some shade from you because you know how I feel about the Jags.
I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm going to roll with the Carolina Panthers. I don't think they get back, and I know it doesn't seem like it's a surprise, but Cam Newton is so up and down with his play. One year he's great. He's playing at an MVP-type level. The next year his team wins 6 games. So you don't know what to expect from Cam Newton. I think this will be one of the down seasons for the Panthers. I got them outside looking in.
And they're in a brutal division. I know how you feel about the Falcons despite last night and New Orleans.
It's the best division for quarterbacks in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably the best division, period.
Yep.
All right, with just 17 weeks left in the season, we will make our Super Bowl predictions. The Eagles took home the Lombardi Trophy last year and will look to become the 8th franchise to win back-to-back championships. So, Chris, the Super Bowl 53 winner will be blank.
Well, you know I have the Falcons as my team to go all the way from the NFC. I know it's a stacked conference, but I just believe Atlanta will figure it out some way, somehow. That's a talented group.
And props to you for not wavering after last night.
No, I'm not going to have a knee-jerk reaction. It's just one game. It's a long season. So when I look at what they bring to the table on the offensive side and what they're doing on the defensive side, because that's still impressive, I like the Atlanta Falcons out of the NFC. As far as the AFC, I think it's wide open. And that's why I like the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I know the one thing that's going to be consistent throughout the year, you're going to be able to play good defense and control the line of scrimmage on offense with that offensive line and the running game. I trust that. Even though I don't trust Blake Bortles, I think that defense is that talented, historically good unit. They find a way to get to the Super Bowl.
Don't feel bad. My Super Bowl pick out of the NFC last year missed the playoffs, the Giants. So when that happens to the Jags, you'll be fine.
Wow.
Steelers over Saints. All this noise about L. Bell will be forgotten when he's giving you 125 yards from scrimmage a game. The Saints, I believe, are going to be excellent. Pats take a slight step back. The Steelers take a step forward. Steelers over Saints get Mike Tomlin his 2nd Super Bowl victory and Big Ben his 3rd. That's my pick.
I always pick whoever was on Hard Knocks the season before because I'm a sucker for all of it. So I'm gonna go with it.
No, I'm
not.
You're fine.
I kind of think it's the Patriots over the Giants.
There you go.
We gotta go. Much more first things first right after this.
Patriots get revenge. Patriots get revenge.
Wow.
A 3rd time.
Why would you go